entire island ravaged by Hurricane Maria. Now help is on the way to Puerto Rico, and Live 5 News is on board. Live reports on air, online, and on social as we join Joint Base Charleston on a humanitarian mission to Puerto Rico. Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
Right now, 150 engineer soldiers from the South Carolina National Guard preparing to head to Puerto Rico. Governor McMaster authorized the relief mission this afternoon.
In that plane, we'll head from Charleston to New York. That is where it's going to load up on supplies, then fly down to the island to help out. They'll be doing things like clearing roads or picking up debris. Our Sydney Ryan is going along with them on that C-17. She has more from Joint Base Charleston.
We are inside of the C-17 Globemaster 3 on our way to New York. Right now, as you can see, the C-17 is empty, but all that is going to change once we get to Fort Drum out in New York. At that time, they're going to be filling up the back of this plane. It's going to have 3 Humvees, 2 pallets of equipment, multiple Army personnel, and trailers filling the back of it. And all of that equipment is going to be heading to San Juan, Puerto Rico with us to set up an Army base down there. The U.S. Air Force dropping out equipment and U.S. Army personnel to Ceiba, Puerto Rico early this morning.
We're here to deliver aid and support for those affected in Puerto Rico by the hurricanes.
Red coming down!
The back of the C-17 Globemaster 3 packed with 2 pallets of gear and water and 3 Humvees with trailers attached.
And everything we're going to need to fully sustain ourselves.
As you can see behind me, this is the last of 3 Humvees that we transported over in our C-17. It's part of the group that's going to be setting up an Army base here in Ceiba.
We don't know what's going to come our way, so you know what they say, it's always better to have than to need.
This is one of many missions completed by our military, helping out with hurricane relief efforts.
We got a bunch of crew members that are standing by right now, and we're backing each other up.
And it won't be their last.
We're all trained and ready to go.
We're ready for whatever they need, wherever they need us.
The reason for their sacrifice?
Love of country, man. Love of country. There's no greater joy than to help our fellow countrymen.
I served so I can serve my country, and I just want to do my part.
Reporting from Ceiba, Puerto Rico, I'm Sydney Ryan, Live 5 News.
Right now at noon, Joint Base Charleston continuing to help deliver hurricane relief supplies to Puerto Rico following Hurricane Irma. Our Sydney Ryan has been with the troops throughout the night. They dropped off supplies to Ceiba in Puerto Rico overnight, where there is absolutely no cell phone service. This is about 45 minutes outside San Juan. Here's the first report we've been able to get from Sydney Ryan traveling with Joint Base Charleston on their mission.
I'm here in Ceiba, Puerto Rico, which is about a 45-minute drive outside of San Juan, and I want you to kind of take a look at the tarmac around me. It is abnormally dark there. It's very evident that there are no lights. Take a look inside of the C-17 that we flew in on. They have already unloaded 2 Humvees and 2 trailers. We still have the 3rd Humvee getting unchained and ready to roll out with another trailer attached to it. We also had 2 pallets full of equipment. Now, what they're doing with all of that equipment is the United States Army out from Fort Drum, where we were earlier in New York. They're going to be setting up an Army base here to help out with hurricane relief.
Sydney joins us now live from San Antonio, Texas on the latest on that relief efforts. How you doing, Sid?
I'm a little tired, I'm a little cold, but I'm doing very well, and has been a very eye-opening trip for us. We went up to Fort Drum in New York. We loaded up the C-17 with 3 Humvees, 3 trailers, Army personnel, and 2 pallets worth of gear. Now all that went down to Puerto Rico. They're setting up a Army base down there to help with hurricane relief. We were anticipated going to San Juan, but they switched us to go to Ceiba, Puerto Rico instead. Now that's where we unloaded everything, and then they took us here to Kelly Air Force Base near San Antonio. And we're kind of on standby, waiting to see where we're going to go next, but it seems like we're going on another trip to deliver more equipment, this time to San Juan, before we head back to Charleston.
And right now, Live 5 Sydney Ryan is getting ready to leave for Puerto Rico. She will be boarding a C-17 at Joint Base Charleston momentarily on a humanitarian mission to that devastated island. The plane will head from Charleston, then to New York, where it will load up with supplies. Sydney Ryan joins us live now from Joint Base Charleston. Charleston. Sydney, you excited about your trip?
Bill, I'm definitely excited about my trip. I want you to take a look to your right on this screen. This is the C-17 that we're getting ready to board. It actually takes off. It's scheduled to take off in about 30 minutes. Right now, it's empty, but take a listen.
Right now, 150 engineer soldiers from South Carolina's National Guard on their way to Puerto Rico. Governor McMaster authorized this relief mission this afternoon.
The engineers will go to help clear roads and remove debris and restore infrastructure. Our Sydney Ryan has more from Joint Base Charleston.
Behind me is the C-17 Globemaster 3 that we are about to board and take to New York. It's empty right now, but once we're in Fort Drum, we're going to be loading it up with tons of equipment. Take a look behind me. Members of the United States Air Force and the United States Army are securing a Humvee. They are going to be transporting this vehicle all the way to San Juan, Puerto Rico, where they'll be setting up an Army base to help with hurricane relief after Hurricane Maria and Hurricane Irma left devastation all over the Caribbean. This is one of 3 Humvees that is going to be packed into this empty C-17 Globemaster 3. There are also going to be 3 trailers. If you take a look behind the Humvee, you can see one is already set up in place. 2 more are going to be loaded in. Actually, 1 more is standing right there, ready to be put up into the C-17. This is the back of the plane that you're looking at.